Hey, Shalom. First off, I want to start off by saying all praises, honor, and glory is due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, HaKadosh. All praises to the world calls God, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, in the name of Yahushua, being the name of the only begotten Son. I also want to say double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, peace and mercy to the hopeful light preaching his word and truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Tazbah, Lord Will, with another video to edify. And I wanted to go into this is rule 2.13, right? 2.13, this new isolation and quarantine procedures that they're coming out with. And here it is, 2022. They got a whole plethora of diseases that they're going to use to justify the means of this action. And you know, they had it on their commission and they said in their meetings and on the news, right, that they're in the age of pandemic. So now they're making the laws, right? Order out of chaos, right? The chaos was the disease and the order is their legislation, right? Let me get this, man. Daniel's 8:25, it says, and through his policy also, right? No, I started 24. And his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power, right? Because what? The Lord set this devil up, and he shall destroy wonderfully and shall prosper in practice, right? And shall destroy the mighty and holy people, and through his policy, right? His laws, his ordinances, right? Also shall he cause craft to prosper in his hand. And this is no more than another means of craft. Because when you read through this, and I took the time to skim, let me make sure what part I'm on, page 18. When I took a point to skim over this, and Lord will, if I get a little more on this, right? Any isolation or quarantine, the basis of the order, localization, right? It goes into how they can literally lock you up for anything that they deem is necessary, and they actually put a stipulation upon doctors to where they're forced to report it. So even these doctors that knew that CVID wasn't on the up and up, right, and they're not down to report this next thing, they have no choice. Otherwise, they will be penalized for not doing it, which is going to come in the form of losing their practice, losing their license, right, losing everything. Honestly, extreme fines. So, and the amount of insurance that doctors actually pay, you'd be surprised, just to protect themselves against malpractice, so they don't have to take that entire blunt force of that liability is extreme. So, you know, these doctors, man, hey, we're in a world where everybody's about to think about themselves, right? So this is about to get intense. So through his policy, he's going to cause craft to prosper in his hand, and shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. And this is a form of peace. Them sitting there saying they're worried about the public health and safety, that they're going to make these laws to where they can strip whole families apart if they have to, right? It says, in all these things, it says whatever is okay by the commissioner. So they didn't even write these things in solid detail. It's all a gray area, what the commissioner allows. Right? And by peace shall destroy many, and he shall also stand up against the principalities, but shall be broken without hand. Because when this devil starts to roll, right, and he believes that he has the free will just to roll on Jake how he's doing, which he's going to be given the time to, right? The right hand, right? Michael, that great prince, is going to stand to fight for the people, for his people, for the Lord's people, the elect. So there's always a reaction on the right? A reaction with the righteous, for the righteous with the Lord when the wicked move, right? So it says new section 2.13 added to clarify isolation and quarantine procedures. Clarify the State Department of Health has the authority to issue isolation and quarantine orders, as do local departments of health It says clarifies locations where isolation or quarantine may be appropriate. So they get to choose if you get to stay in your house or not. They get to choose if you're going to be shipped off to another state. It says set forth requirements for the content of isolation and quarantine orders. Specify other procedures that apply when a person is isolated or quarantined. Explicitly state the violation of an order constitutes grounds for civil or criminal penalties. Right, meaning you can get thrown in jail. Relocates and updates existing regulatory requirements that require the intending physician to report cases and suspected cases to the local health authority, and to requires a physician to provide instructions concerning how to protect others. So they're gonna say, hey, this person's a threat to society. Look, he's got this, he's got that, for anything, right? You can just have a symptom that looks like another symptom, right? That looks like it, right? And they'll have the means to be able to lock you up. Well, the scriptures tell you a man shall desire, and they can shut down entire blocks. When you read this whole thing, it even sit here and states, that the entire building can essentially be quarantined. An entire apartment can essentially be quarantined. When you really read through it, it's so much gray area in this thing, because that's where the devil works, in the gray area, right? This is 2 Ezra 15 and 17. It says, it says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Why? Because these devils are going to be on a lockdown. He's going to lock shit up. He's going to lock shit up. In 2024 could very well be that year, because right now they're talking about several outbreaks of certain diseases, white lung pneumonia being one of them, SARS 2, right? There was a new disease coming out of Uganda that's on the rise, that's affecting children in a mass level too. So pestilence is on the rise, because that's written in the scripture. So this might very well be the time. What these devils are kicking off, the Lord can sit here and exacerbate. And that's what you got to understand. These things are written in the scripture for a reason. It says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And this is going to cause fear. People don't know. I took the liberty, right? I had to get some help from their manager at work and shit, and I know these people don't pay attention to anything outside of, work and their families. So I just bring it up to her. I'm like, yeah, man, because they're talking about how people in the office are getting sick. I'm like, yeah, they're talking about there's a whole new thing coming out of China, this white lung pneumonia that's hitting kids. And you could see in her face, like, she was like, what? Shocked. She was shocked that something else is here. Shocked that something else is here. Well, it's going to be from one evil to the next. The scriptures tell you what the day of the Lord was going to be like. Right? Let me get it. This is in Amos 5:19. It says, 5:18, woe to you that desire the day of Yahweh. To what end is it for you? The day of Yahweh is darkness and not light. As if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into a house and leaned his hand on the wall and a serpent bit him. Right? Right when you think you're going to get some rest, more hell. Right? Shall not the day of Yahweh be darkness and not light, even very darkness and no brightness in it? You see, from one evil to the next. And that's what it's going to be. These are those days. These devils are going to shut down the cities. They're going to sit here and come in because, hey, the scriptures tell you they're going to hunt the people, right? They hunt our steps. This is Lamentation 4:18. It says, I started 17. As for us, our eyes have yet failed for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save. These devils are our nation that cannot save. Why is Jake always pleading for Esau to step in? Every time he stepped in, he ruined your life. Right? They hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets. Right? They're going to sit here and surveil everything. When you read through this whole 213, right? Rule 213, man, it talks about all-out surveillance, periodic checkups, everything, right? It talks about these things. It says they hunt our steps that we cannot go into our streets. Our end is near, our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. Our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of the heaven. They pursued us upon the mountains. They laid wait for us in the wilderness. The breath of our nostrils, the anointed of Yahweh, was taken in their pits, of whom we said, under his shadow we shall live among the heathen. Right? Because Jake, take it for a joke. These times ain't jokes, man. This time is not a joke. It's about to get deathly serious. 2023 is almost over, right? And every year that the elders and apostles have been, reading through the Spirit, and the Lord's been giving them the utterance, right? They've been given right titles to the year, right titles. Those titles that they give is the Spirit that the year is going to hold, and it's been like this, man. So I foresee that it's just going to increase. Remember the birth pains; these are just the starts of the birth pains, man. The Lord willing us to edify them, say, call all Yahweh Shem Yahshua B'Shem Rakakara Shalom.